Do you recognize this book? Because it's not here by accident. It actually addresses one of the central themes of the story. So let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for another bloody breakdown of the latest episode of Chainsaw Man. This episode had fewer flying parts and more crucial information to the story, which I always appreciate. And come on, who doesn't like a good flashback? Well, Aki, probably. But anyway, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and to join me each week for new anime content. And now for our video. We jump back to that pervy scene in the toilet and Denji finally gets to fulfill his dream, but right from the start, he feels something is not right. He was excited at first, but now, after he got his dream, he senses a serious lack of motivation, which is expected. After all, that is what happens when you get what you want right away. He got what he wanted, but it wasn't as good as he expected it to be, and also, he feels something was missing. We can see he carries it with him all morning. How can he keep on fighting now that he no longer has a dream to wish for? Later, he meets up with Makima to sign some papers and he shares his feelings about it. After telling her what went down with Power, Denji is now concerned that chasing his dreams will always feel better than finally getting what he wanted. But we need to remember that Denji's perspective on this is very limited. His dream was small and the road to reach it wasn't that hard. Just like Aki told him, his reasons are not serious enough. And that seems to be true because touching a random girl didn't satisfy Denji as much as he thought it would. Here he gets an intimacy lesson from Makima, who understands exactly what she needs to do in order to give Denji something new to hope for. She leads Denji on, letting him feel the sense of ownership. She then lets him touch her to diminish his previous encounter and to set a new bar, something bigger for him to fight for. She doesn't kiss him, but leads him just enough, and then also promises him to fulfill any wish he wanted. And yes, she means anything. That helps her to pull Denji closer to her, and that also makes him want to satisfy Makima. What Makima is doing is creating intimacy between them, which is a very strong bond that made many men do crazy things for women. And we can clearly see the difference between him being intimate with Power compared to his reaction to Makima. Of course, to get this wish she asks Denji for something in return, to kill a very powerful devil. Just like it was hinted in the previous episode, the gun flesh belongs to the gun devil, a powerful devil created from the rising fear of guns. 13 years ago, the use of guns was extensive, which made the fear of guns to be at its highest. And then, a terrorist attack with guns happened in America. That's when the gun devil first appeared. It's important to remember Makima explaining how strong fears create stronger devils, so we can imagine how strong this one can be. It's also unclear why Makima thinks Denji is the only one who can kill it, because clearly Denji is not ready for it, which makes me believe this gun devil might be someone like Denji, who can transform in and out from his devil form. That could also be the reason why he was missing all those years, but of course, that's only my wild guess. From there, we jump to a flashback of two parents reading a story to their sick little child. And here, I want to point out a smart symbolism between this book and our story. The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse is a very known kids book that is based on a fable by Aesop. In short, the Town Mouse comes to visit his friend in the country, but then he refuses to eat his peasant food and invites his friend to the city. While in the city, they wine and dine in the garbage and the Country Mouse discovers a world he has never seen before. But soon after, he learns about the dangers that comes with the good life when they are attacked by cats. He then returns to his country house, preferring the quiet normal life to a flashy life that also comes with danger. At its core, the moral of this fable was to be satisfied with what you have, but it also opens a discussion about dreams. Are you the person like the Country Mouse who prefers to have less but to live a safe, predictable life? Or are you like the City Mouse who wants more while also knowing the dangers ahead? These are two different schools of thought which we can already see a lot in the first episodes. The idea of being happy with the little you have, like Denji being sad when he didn't appreciate those little moments he had with Pochita, against the idea of wanting more. More money, more fame, more power, more recognition, and is it even acceptable to want more? Does it make you selfish or ungrateful to try to chase bigger dreams? Those are things Denji has been thinking about since the first episode, and like the city mouse, he is starting to see the dangers of chasing bigger dreams, as he slowly adjusts from his simple country life to his new city life, which has bigger payoff but also more downsides. The tale about the city and the country mouse can be applied to more characters, and I think it was a great small reference to this story. Going back to the family, we meet the older brother who is a bit hostile towards his little brother, but the little brother still tries his best to connect with him, so he offers to go play with his big angry brother, and after a while they both enjoy a snowball fight and the bigger brother sends the young one back home. At that moment, a sudden blast comes by and destroys the house right before the older brother's eyes. At that day, 13 years ago, the Gun Devil killed 1.2 million people in under 5 minutes, and since then he disappeared, only leaving parts of his body behind him in form of bullets. And those pieces of Gun Devil flesh make any devil that eats them extremely strong. Ever since that day, a few things happened. The fear of guns intensified even more, which made the devil even more powerful. The government issued a ban against guns and even made the media to not report on gun incidents to not raise the fear levels. That is also a strong discussion about governments who don't share all information with the public for their own safety. And yes, every country does this, and every country has its little secrets that they don't believe the public could handle. Apparently, that is the same in this world of Chainsaw Man as well. Denji is willing to do anything in order to get his wish, which may or may not involve dirty things, so he's all up for the task. The bullet-like flesh that the devil hunters find is pulled towards the body they came from, which is the Gun Devil, so the hunters use them to locate more pieces, as they act like a compass to more pieces. The devil hunters believe that when they collect a big enough piece, they will be able to finally locate the Gun Devil himself. We jump to Aki, who just found another piece. We also learn here that Aki was the older brother in that flashback. There is something strange mentioned here too. How could a small-time devil get a piece of Gun Devil? Was it forced on him by someone? I guess we will get more information on that later in the story. Later on, the department gets a calling about a possible Gun Devil piece, and the group of 6 goes to investigate. Apparently, several devil hunters have already died, so they expect this devil to be extremely strong. Here we see again how part of the group treats Denji and Power as not equals. Aki even tells them they have no human rights. We also see a new character, Himeno, trying to offer Denji a kiss on the cheek as motivation, but Denji rejects her. He thinks of Makima and gets all the motivation he needs. He now knows the experience will be better with a person he truly cares about, so a kiss from a stranger is nothing in comparison. But of course, soon after, Himeno raises the stakes to a French kiss and Denji goes back to his horny self. He rushes into the building while Arai, which clearly has some feelings towards Himeno, is shocked she offered him a kiss. We then get a little rundown on the other teammates when Himeno asks Aki what he thinks about them. Arai, who was trained by Himeno, is very motivated but not very strong, unlike Kobeni, who is strong but not that brave, and we see her constantly frightened and also failing to react when she was attacked. So we can see most of them complete each other's weak and strong points, with one missing because I think there is another one we haven't seen yet. We also realize Himeno is the one who trained Aki. She took him over after he lost his family and after she lost 5 partners. According to her, they were just not strong enough and it was their fault for dying, and she constantly tells Aki not to die. A small devil appears and attacks Kobeni, but she is soon saved by some invisible force. Then we find out about the Ghost Devil, the devil that Himeno made a contract with, and she can now use his right invisible hand. She got this power in exchange for her right eye. Power tries to test her, but Himeno sets her right in her place, pinning her to the wall and showing her who's boss. As they walk up the stairs, Arai feels something weird is going on. He goes down one level only to appear coming from the level above. The group now realizes that they are somehow stuck on the 8th floor, which is probably the power of the devil they are searching for, but that is where this episode ends. As mentioned, this episode had less action, but so much background story, which I think is great. What do you think is going on? Are they stuck in some dream, or is it something different? Let me know what you think in the comments. And that is all for this video, my chainsaw loving friends, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave me a comment. I will see you all real soon in my next video and even sooner in the comments. But until then, always remember to dedicate your hearts to humanity, inside and outside the walls.